13.2 is slope, and this is I can find and interpret slope of a line. So again, we're going to start with vocab. So the slope is the value of the ratio of the change in y, which we call the rise, to the change in x, which we call the run. And the y, remember on a graph, is the up and down. And the x is the side to side. So that's why we call it rise. We have to move up, and this x is side to side, so that's the run. So the slope, so the x is the run, which is between any 2 points. So we have x1 and y1, and then we have an x2 and y2 on a line. These are just 2 different points, and they're just showing these little subscripts are just telling us that they're 2 different points on a line. So the slope of a line is a measure of the steepness of the line. And in an equation, we use the letter m to represent slope. So lines with a positive slope rise left to right, and lines with a negative slope fall from left to right. So you can see here we have one point here, and we didn't identify what the point is, but we do know that there are 2 different points on a line. And so we have our rise and our run. And so here is a better example of that. So it says describe the slope of each line and then find the slope. So we run from this point, and we're trying to get to this point. But we can't just count these, because if you look here, like, I don't know how much that is. I can't count when it goes diagonal, but I can count when it goes from left to right and up and down. So I'm moving to the side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I move 6. So I run 6 and I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, slope is rise over run. So we write it as a fraction. And so in this case, our rise was 5 and our run was 6. So our slope is 5 over 6. And that's just our slope. And we leave it as a fraction. Don't switch it to a decimal. It actually will make it harder to graph later, because later they're going to give us the slope and then we have to graph it. So it's better to leave it as a fraction so we know how many we have to move up and down and left to right. You'll also notice that I could also go up and over. So I could have just did rise first and rose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't matter if you run first or if you rise first. Either way, we know that we rise 5 and we run 6. We got the same answer for both. All right, so let's do this example. So we're getting from this point to this point. And this time I'm going to fall, because this is a negative slope, because think of it as we're going downwards the way that we read. So from left to right, it looks like we're going downwards, while in graph A, when I read from left to right, I am rising. I'm running up the hill. So I'm going to try falling first, which we still actually call rise, but it's just the direction saying that we go down 1, 2, 3, So we're going to fall 3, and if we fall, it's negative, and then we have 3 boxes we went to. And then we run 1, 2. So we rose -3, and we ran 2. So when I go rise over run, this gives me -3 over 2, and that is my slope.